Welcome to That Seasonaire podcast. I'm your host Gina. Stick with me as I chat to Seasonaires, expats and adventurers across the world sharing their inspiring stories and interesting insights into living and working abroad. Welcome back to part 2 of the final episode of the season with soldier turned snowboard coach, it's Dan Greenway. That's actually quite an achievement to do something like that in a foreign country, in a different language.
It was scary.
Yeah,
I'll be honest,
bet.
it was very scary. The scariest part wasn't actually the course itself, it was the setting up the business, finding out a million different things that you need to know.
Yeah.
And then finding out from everyone who you know is self-employed that it's the worst thing you could do in Austria.
Yeah. In part 1, we heard how Dan fell in love with snowboarding following his time in the military, and this time we hear how he's managed to build a business around his passion. Stick with us right to the end of the show as we talk viral vids and run through the questions to help you on your next adventure. Just a quick interruption to give a shout out to show supporters Palm & Pine Skincare, the award-winning sunscreen brand for the everyday athlete. Here's the show. Got yourself set up in Seoul for good. COVID's going on. What kind of transpired from there?
Post-COVID or during COVID?
Well, I assume you had the same experience as everyone else during COVID, where it was a delightful, quiet winter on the piste.
Oh, it was just the best, wasn't it?
I mean, I don't like to bloody go on about it too much on the show because there was a lot of people who had a fucking terrible time.
I know. Some people, the people on the opposite side of the spectrum had a horrible time. You're absolutely right.
Exactly. But we did have it good.
You can't help it, can you? You think, literally, I was thinking about, like, what was my favourite season? And, I mean, can you say it? COVID.
It's true. Everyone had to do it safely. You had to test. You had to do it. You had to make sure you didn't have bloody COVID to go up the bloody mountain and blah, blah, blah. But it was amazing. And
we did. Like, Abby and I, for example, obviously there were a lot of people going against the rules and this, that and the other. But Abby and I, we went for our tests. Was it every 2 days, every 3 days?
48-hour test.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
that was it.
You had to get a lateral flow.
Well, yeah, a lateral flow. Just sounds wrong.
Yeah, it sounds horrible, doesn't it?
If I didn't know about COVID and someone said to me lateral flow, I'd be like, ew.
Anyway.
No more flow.
So COVID winter.
Yes, yeah. So we did the testing, etc. But this doesn't apply to Abby and I. However, the English community in Seoul ended up in the newspapers a few times.
Oh,
that
really?
Winter. Yeah.
Oh,
COVID
God.
Parties.
Oh, God.
It was a nightmare. Honestly, the amount of times that people would come up to me, another one. It wasn't us. It wasn't us.
Yeah.
But yeah, that happened a few times. And yeah, we all know it. It was a fantastic season for those of us who were here.
Yeah, for the snow was good. There was no one on the mountain.
Yeah, it
was
a good time.
A good time, yeah.
Sadly.
I feel so guilty saying it.
Yeah, I know. I think of it like, can I say it? No.
Might get cut out. We'll see.
Just bragging about it.
Just like, oh, it's amazing. I'm sorry, everyone else. Anyway, so at this point, you're staying in Austria. You're like, this is it now.
Yeah.
So what is the plans for the future? You're going to carry on with the painting job and then... but you kind of felt like you had somewhere else to go with the snowboard coaching side of things.
Yeah. And I think that, once again, that COVID season was actually a good segue for me.
Okay.
Because obviously ski schools were closed, no tourists, etc. Yes, it wasn't what normality was, but it was a good thing to come away from the ski school for a winter, reconnect a little bit with the snowboarding, obviously with COVID, and then I came out of that with the epiphany, like, right, I'm not going back to ski school. No. And like, I'm done with it now. I'm going to do something else. I did go back to the painting job.
Okay.
Initially, went back to there for the summer, and then the following winter, I believe Abby and I had said to the ski school boss that we'd come and do a little bit of work for him.
Yeah.
But then we both ended up with COVID.
Okay.
During high season. So we had to stay at home for that, and then it sort of fizzled out. Which was good. Because I had already made plans to do a personal training course, which was my main focus for that next winter.
Okay, cool. What did you need to do for that?
It was a 6-month course. The scariest part about it for me at the time was the German. A lot of technical language, anatomy, that sort of
German.
stuff. Yeah,
wow.
It was in Graz.
Okay.
So there were a few weekends where I had to travel. Luckily, I could do most of the course remotely, coursework based, etc. But the exams, for example, and a few weekends that we had to go over for Präsenzwochenende, which was cool. And yeah, I think it was a really good thing for me to focus on that winter, even though I was still snowboarding. You know,
Yeah.
I had this. It's like I was in uni. You know, I was studying every day, and yeah, just trying to build my knowledge for that course. Really
Amazing.
really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
And what was the thought process after that? Was that to like, where were you thinking you were going to work, or what were you going to do with that qualification?
The thought process actually came before the course. So,
Okay.
Once again, going back to that COVID season, that March, when I was having this epiphany, blah, 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 I realised before I hit 30, I kind of wanted to build something. I wasn't 100% sure what that was, but obviously I was in this mindset then. I was like, right, I want to build something before I'm 30. I've got 3 years now. What am I going to do? And I stewed over it. And I was like, what do I like to do? Well, I like to motivate people. And I'm like, right, I'm into my fitness as well. Sick. I'm going to do this. And then that was what led to the personal training course. And I attacked it with the aim of, I'm going to do this course. I'm going to become a self-employed personal trainer.
Wow.
That was my focus there, you know, and it was very strongly on that. It was like, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick to it. And I did.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was cool. So literally a year later, the February of the next winter, that was when I passed my trainer's course and instantly registered as self-employed, and then boom.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was really good fun.
That's actually quite an achievement to do something like that in a foreign country in a different language.
It was scary.
Yeah,
I'll be honest,
bet.
it was very scary. The scariest part wasn't actually the course itself. It was the setting up the business, you know, finding out a million different things that you need to know, and then finding out from everyone who you know is self-employed that it's the worst thing you could do in Austria. You know, like, why do you want to do that? Like, don't tell me that.
So yeah, something I've been like, I've obviously had to look into it myself, and it's just like so much stuff.
It is. It's daunting, isn't it? You know, especially as I would say a sole proprietor. You know, like if you go in it on your own. It's quite scary. It helps to have people around you.
Yeah, they don't make it easy for you here.
No.
No. How is the business going?
The business has changed a lot.
Oh yeah,
I have to say. Yeah. So I started the business. Obviously, started pulling on clients. A lot of online training. A lot of building up muscle memory for snowboarding, that sort of thing. Because I wanted to relate it to snowboarding. Because that's where my passion was. By the way, the company's called Greenway Fitness. I wanted Greenway Fitness to have a bit of a niche about it, even though I understood at the time. I was like, snowboarding it happens in the winter, you know, so people want to train prior to that and not after that, you know. So I wasn't under any like delusion that I could do this the whole year round. So I was like, okay, it's winter plan, train people for snowboarding. Summer plan, something else fitness related, other clients. Yeah, so. The summer plan, the summer solution, let's call it, was I decided to start contacting hotels in the area, being like, do you need a fitness instructor?
Good idea,
blah. And I actually ended up setting up with a lovely hotel near where we live in Seoul, called the Hochfilzer. We set up some aqua fitness classes, some stretching classes, that sort of stuff, and it was on a weekly basis.
Amazing.
And it worked really well because I was also training the boss of the hotel.
Okay.
So he was a private client for me, and I was working for the hotel at the same time. It just worked really well. Sadly, after a year of working part-time as a painter and doing that, because I didn't want to just go full transition, I wanted a bit of security. So it was like 3 days of painting on top of the training. I came to this harsh reality where I was like, I've realized that I haven't got the commitment to the clients that I should have to do this, which isn't fair. It's not fair on them. It's not fair on myself, you know. So I was like, right, okay, how do I fix this problem? And long story short, I ended up stopping the hotel stuff, stopping the private clients, cutting it all off basically, so that I could pursue the path that I wanted to pursue.
Okay.
Which was snowboarding. Yeah. You know, like I live for snowboarding. Well, now I live for my fiance, but you know, but can't miss that out. But no, I do. I live for snowboarding. So I was like, right, I need to make this more snowboarding focused, and therefore I will have the passion to put into it that it needs for this company to work. And timing just worked out perfectly. Yeah. Because Abby started working for Ride Store as a customer service rep, and she was talking to me about how they're trying to pursue more about giving back to the community and stuff like this. And then she has the idea. She's like, well, you're doing snowboarding training. Like, why can't we? Yeah, make this work somehow. So Abby spoke to Tom. Yeah. Who instantly
shout out Tom Quantrill.
Yeah, Top G. Also going to nominate him to come on here, by the way.
Awesome.
Although you might need 8 hours because he won't shut up.
I know. But he has been nominated, I think, already. But He needs more nominations. Sorry, carry on.
What a diva. What a diva.
I know.
I don't need 1 nomination. I need 6.
Yeah.
But
And then I need 6 hours to record it. Anyway.
Yeah, so Abby spoke to Tom. Tom jumped on the idea, like, instantly. And we did a very quick test day. It was actually kind of cool because it was kind of a showcase for me to show, because Tom wasn't sure what the crack was with regards to what we're actually going to do. So it was a great way for me to experience Tom's expectations for what he wanted, and it was a great way for him to see what Abby and I were offering. And we did it. It was a hit. Yeah.
So what was it? Was it like an event for Ride Store?
Yeah, it was. I would say more for dope snow, and it's essentially a free day of freestyle coaching.
Cool.
The idea was, one of the hardest things for people to learn freestyle is it's scary.
Yeah.
You know, like you going into a park for the first time, even if you're not scared of the actual box or the jump itself, there's 10 people up there who are intimidating as hell.
Yeah.
So, you know, you don't want to do it for the first time in front of them. So how can we make this more accessible? And that was the concept, essentially. So we got, I think there were like 8 or 9 people, maybe. One of them was called Tina. She drove 5 hours from Slovenia to come and be with us, and then drove 5 hours back at the end of the day, went home again. It was insane. And it was a great hit. So from that, we then were like, right, we've got something here, let's develop it. And I tell you what, it's taken off. And then that now is kind of I would say Greenway Fitness as a company now is sort of a head over for me that allows me to do what I want to do. If you know what I mean. Like I don't walk around acting as Greenway Fitness. I'm just Dan now. However, I have a company that allows me to work as a business.
That's amazing. Yeah. Was that here last year, that day?
The first one we did was in Squaddie in the November. However, the one that came after that was this one. Cool. That was the second one. Yeah. The one that we did here.
Nice.
It was insane.
Yeah, so cool. So yeah, it's been going well anyway.
Very well. We're always learning. Obviously, there's millions of learning curves. But I mean, next month we're going to Snowbox Festival for the second time. Now with 4 coaches, 2 snowboard, 2 ski. And we're going to be running a clinic for the day that's hopefully going to teach, I think, 90 people in total.
Amazing.
So we've progressed massively within a space of 2 seasons. And hopefully it's just going to get better and better and better and better, you know?
Yeah. No, like I absolutely love the concept of it myself, because I am in a position now where I feel like my snowboarding does need to progress.
Yeah.
I can get down a hill, obviously, whatever. But in terms of the park, you're right, it is so intimidating.
It is.
It's intimidating in so many ways. Like, you have to get over such a mental hurdle. Well, certainly I do anyway, where you're absolutely right. If people are watching you and there's all these cool kids watching you and they're fucking good and you're like, oh my God, I'm so scared of this thing that I'm going to attempt to go over this box. And it's just, it's so scary.
Yeah, no, it is.
Scared of hurting yourself, scared of being embarrassed, scared of,
Yeah, there are a million things in the way, and that's one of the things. It's like, come and learn with us in a stress-free environment with people just like you, and you know, we're here to have fun. We're here to learn snowboarding primarily, but we're also here to have fun. Yeah, you know, and that's the idea behind it. There's one tomorrow if you want to come.
Yeah, I know. I keep thinking, I will come, and then I'm like, I've got too much work to do. But then I'm like, this is my opportunity. If not now, when? Like, everyone keeps saying to me as well at the moment, it's like, Gina, you're gonna come to the park, and like we'll just go down like the baby line or whatever it's called. What the fuck do you call it?
It is the baby line.
The baby line, the beginner line. Yeah, not the pro line.
Not the pro.
Someone did say that to me the other day. Let's go with the pro line. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, but
crazy.
I love that you've got an airbag here, though. Every time I see that, I'm like, oh my God. I want to hook a triple.
Yeah, we are actually super lucky here. And like Penkin Park is very well known, but I do not make use of it. And I do feel very intimidated when I'm up there. So, but yeah. So I guess that kind of takes you now to the present day.
Yes, yeah, very much so. Awesome. That's what we're doing now. We've hit this level where we're constantly progressing these clinics, but that is now what I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Dan, I think that means it's time to move on to the questions, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, oui.
Okay, so from your experiences of visa applications, I guess New Zealand, is there anything that you can advise people who are going through that process at the moment?
Visa applications. So with New Zealand hasn't changed at all, luckily, since Brexit.
Right.
So, I mean, one of the big ones with New Zealand is age.
Okay, yeah.
So I believe it's 32 is the cap where it starts becoming 32? A nightmare, or it might be 30.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those two. Luckily, I was well below that, so it wasn't a problem. But the process of getting in is quite surprising because you need sponsorship from a job. So I had to go through 3 interviews with the ski school over there before I could actually get the job.
Really?
Yeah, which was really cool though, because you get to actually try and explain why you think you deserve this position as an instructor, and it's quite enlightening for yourself, because if you're sat there thinking, then what are you offering really?
Yeah.
Whereas if you come up with like, for example, I had to give a presentation where I had my snowboard behind me and I had all these points that make a good instructor along the snowboard, and I presented it to them using that, and they were like, well, that's quirky, that's cool.
Yeah.
I would say that the biggest thing is, this is what I wanted to say. So with the visa process now, with Austria and Brexit especially, it's worth it. If you have to pay a bit of extra money, if you have to do a bit of extra paperwork, okay, it sucks, but it's worth it. The lifestyle that you can get at the end of it is so worth it.
Yeah. So we're talking about the seasonal visa to come to Austria.
Yes.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is kind of put a bit of a dampener on the podcast, I guess, at the moment, because it's like, can anyone actually do it from Britain and come be a seasonaire anymore? And you can.
Yeah.
You just have to put the effort in.
Yeah.
And every country has its own different way to do it. It's not all of Europe don't seem to have the same bloody,
stipulations.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like you say, you can do it. You just have to look into it and do all the paperwork and get the jobs and get the permits and things like that. So yeah.
Nothing worth having is easy.
That is very, very true. Very true. And it is doable. So that's the positive. It is doable. Awesome. So if someone was only planning to do one season, where would you recommend them to go and why?
I think that's a very difficult question, because it comes down to your personality type, very much so. For example, if you are literally only planning on doing one season and you want to be in amongst the parties, if you want to make some friends, but you're not looking to make long-lasting connections, for example, somewhere like Ischgl, somewhere like St. Anton, where you're a very small part of it, but there's a lot going on, that would be ideal. If you're looking for long-term connections or a bit more community, I would say somewhere like Meyerhofen, Sul, Zell am See, where there's already a good community, a good infrastructure there, and you've got a higher likelihood of being taken under someone's wing and then introduced to more people who you can then have long-term friendships with.
Yeah.
Exactly where to go is a difficult thing to say.
Yeah.
I would tell everyone Sul, because it's incredible, but the problem is that person might not be suited to Sul, because it's a small village. It's a bit more traditional than some other places. We've got a great community, but if you're looking to go out clubbing every night, it's not for you.
Yeah.
I would say definitely. I think my advice there would be, if you're thinking about a resort, find someone there first, or get in touch with, even if it's a bar or a restaurant or something, and ask a few questions. That would be my advice.
Yeah, for sure. What was your best job and what was your worst job and why?
Best job, I'll start with that, hands down, what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
I am in love with it, and I could happily do it for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Worst job. So I wouldn't say this is a worst job position. If you say to me the words worst job, something that comes to mind is when I was in Afghanistan, there was this blown up vehicle,
right?
That myself and one other lad, it got brought back into Camp Bastion, and it was blown up for security reasons, and we had to clean it out. So it's 50 degrees outside. We're in t-shirts, and there's fiberglass everywhere from where this thing's been blown up. Yeah, and we have to sweep it out and clean it out, etc. The only thing we've got is like masks, and I'm not talking FFP2. I'm talking like a crappy mask.
Oh god.
And we were there for 3 days doing this, and I had itchy fiberglass skin for like 3 weeks afterwards. It was horrendous.
Whoa.
That was the worst job of my life.
Yeah, that's awful. Jesus, not surprised. Best place you've ever visited and why?
So I would say, I would narrow this down into the reason for visiting. Like, so for skiing, for example, luckily this was the other week. We went to the Dolomites. We went to Alta Badia, and we did the Zellerunde. That was the best place I've ever skied.
Really?
It was the views. It's been a long time since I've had my breath taken away from a view, and we came to the top of this lift, and I looked ahead, and I couldn't speak. I was literally speechless. Wow. I was like, this is fantastic. So with regards to skiing, I would say that. Summer-wise, I think Lake Louise was pretty incredible. I would always recommend, if anyone's ever going to Canada, get yourself to Lake Louise. It's a must in that journey. I'm hoping, if you ask me this at the end of the year, I'm hoping California's going to be on the list.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's our honeymoon destination.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yeah, that'll be cool.
Awesome.
That'll be cool.
Nice. So I think I know the answer to this one. Well, actually, maybe not. What do you prefer, winter seasons or summer seasons?
Summer, hands down.
Seriously?
No.
I actually believed you fully then.
Good poker face. Good poker face.
That was a good poker face. Oh, my God. Yeah, so winter.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. I don't get me wrong. I actually think there's more to do in Austria in summer than in winter. But
Agreed, yeah.
snowboarding is so programmed into me now, and it's so much in my heart that I couldn't live without it. So, yeah.
For sure. When was your favourite season and why?
I'll be honest, my favourite season was during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there. Perfect.
Yeah, that's
shorter answers means less editing for Gina. That's fine. Right. Favourite. Oh, I think we just covered this. Where is your favourite place to snowboard?
I mentioned Alta Badia a minute ago.
Yes.
That was I was referring mainly to the views there. That we got to soak in. But if you're talking park, I am in love with Axmalitzen as a resort, just outside of Innsbruck.
Yeah.
It's not a big park. It's I think it's called the Rooftop Park, and it's just the perfect size. It's never that busy. It's got some great features there. I really love lapping that park. If you're talking powder, I actually love the Zillertal Arena.
Yeah.
For me, that's just top-notch powder riding. You know, there's some beautiful tree runs, some beautiful open runs, got a bit of everything, and there's so much, like, you can take each route 10 times and you still won't take the same line.
Yeah, nice.
I love that. And piste riding, probably Skivelt, my resort.
Yeah.
You've got like 280 kilometers of piste, especially in like January where it's not that busy with tourists. You can just fly around and you can cover a lot of terrain quite easily. So yeah, I'd say that's probably my fave.
Perfect. In your opinion, what's the best thing about season life or being a seasonaire in general?
The best thing about being a seasonaire? Cheap beer. No, that's not my answer. You've caught me off guard. What's the best thing about seasonaire life? I would definitely say the connections that you make. I think if you're willing to, if you're doing one season, I guess that classes you as a seasonaire. But I think if you're doing season upon season, you meet more people, you make more connections, and you realise that the industry isn't that big.
Yeah.
So you end up bumping into the same people all over the place, and I think that's
so true.
sick.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
So cool. So yeah, I'd say for me that's the best thing is the connections you make with people.
Yeah. Nice. Excellent. Can you tell us about a challenge or difficulty you faced during your seasonaire journey, and what did you learn from it?
Abby. And marry it. No. A difficult challenge. I would say the hardest one to overcome might have been the German.
Okay.
I was quite lucky that I found German easier to learn than quite a few people, I guess. But it's definitely a big hurdle. If you're planning on doing a season in a different country, a country that speaks a different language, it's probably one of the biggest hurdles, I would say, is the language. Yeah.
What's one thing you wish you had known before going on your first season?
To budget better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's come up before, actually.
Yeah, it's one of those ones you get dead excited with the partying, etc. And like I said, I was in a very lucky position when I went on my first season. It didn't stop me thinking 6 months, a year later, why weren't you just more sensible?
Yeah.
You know? I mean, have fun. Go out, have fun, go drinking, do your thing, but you should always have in the back of your head, right, I am living a seasonal lifestyle, therefore there is a season after this one that I need to fund. So yeah, that's what I'd say.
Really good advice. I actually, when you think about it, I remember my first season, I just like ate out all the time. And I'm like, who did I think I was? I think I was only earning like €300 a month or something stupid. Anyway, I thought I was minted. Balling. Anyway, are there any opportunities or unlikely experiences that stand out to you that you wouldn't have had if you hadn't gone on your first season in the first place?
Yeah, the easy answer to this question is I wouldn't be getting married this year.
Oh yeah.
Met Abby, became great friends very quickly.
Yeah.
And we stayed great friends for 3-4 seasons, and then boom.
Yeah. Amazing.
Got out of the friend zone like a champ. When does that ever happen?
Yeah, that's true.
But no, for me that's it.
Good. Yeah. And she's fucking awesome. I love Abby.
She's a good one.
Yeah. You both done well.
We both done well.
Throughout your travels, which place... Oh, I think I know the answer to this one. Throughout your travels, which place feels most like home to you?
I actually have two answers to this.
Okay.
Yes, number one is at home in Seoul with Abby and our cat Poppy. It's just Poppy.
So cute.
Yeah, it's very wholesome where we live. So yeah, but the other one is I would definitely still say after all this time, where my parents live. You know, and they've actually moved house since I've left the country.
Yeah.
So it's not to do with the home; it's to do with going back to them.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
That's a big thing for me.
When you're away, what do you miss most about the UK?
My family. Very much my family. My parents, my brother. We were so close growing up, so it was a big decision for me to join the army at 16. You know, that was like, oh my God, Dan's gone.
Yeah.
And I would come back every 6 weeks, 8 weeks or whatever. And then that slowly dissipated. And now I go back to the UK maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah.
Luckily, we're in a position where we can offer people to come and stay with us for a week, so they get a holiday. So, yeah, it's a family thing, you know.
If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Learn to snowboard sooner.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I started when I was like 18, 19, so I wish I'd started when I was like 12.
Yeah.
You know? If I'd started at 12, I'd have been sick.
You are sick.
No.
On the topic of advice, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received, and what's the worst piece of advice you've ever received?
Worst piece of advice I've ever received. Now that is a good question.
It's quite a tough question.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a think about that one. But the best piece of advice I've ever received, I would definitely say, probably stems from my dad, and that is, if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing well. And that's sort of like, that was instilled in me as a kid, so I think that's sort of stuck with me.
Yeah.
Worst piece of advice. There was this guy in the park once who told me not to go that fast, and I knuckled it. I would say that's a really bad piece of advice.
Yeah.
It's not quite a life lesson, but you know, it's what
so
a dick.
The key is, so the key is go fast.
Yeah, go fast. Live fast, die young. No,
don't do that.
No, don't do that. We do not approve
Not
this
advisable.
message.
This is not that Seasonaire podcast advised. We talk a lot about mentors on the show. Did you have any mentors who helped you along in your journey?
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. When I was first starting my business, a good friend of mine called Max, shout out to Max, you legend. He gave me a lot of advice. He's much more business savvy and also German savvy than I am.
Okay.
So I took a lot of advice for him in the initial stages of building a business, and it made a massive difference having someone there.
Yeah.
I would also say a good mentor would also be Abby's dad, Tim. Shout out to Tim. He has once again given me a lot of business advice. Yeah.
Excellent. Do you have any quotes or sayings that you live by?
Carpe diem is a good one. I think, as far as I'm aware, it means seize the day in Latin. I think that's a great one. You know, get out of bed and do something. Don't look back, I would say. It's not something I say, but I would definitely say I live by that. You know, like
look to the future kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm very much a look forward kind of guy.
Yeah. Do you have any books, movies, podcasts or publications that you can recommend to our listeners that have helped you along in your journey?
I'll be honest, I'm not a book person. But I do love TED Talks. I've listened to a lot of TED Talks in the past. And also, is it Work Life with Adam Grant? I don't know if you've seen that one. That's a great podcast with regards to, obviously, like the TED Talks, you learn from people with different experiences and stuff, and that you gain some great advice on different working circumstances and how to deal with them in yourself. I think that's a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell us something that has inspired you recently?
Inspired me. Actually, I'll be honest, this might come across dead cheesy. Last year, when I came and watched you and Bruce do the podcast, listening to Bruce and how full that guy's day is.
Yeah. And
I watch him on Instagram all the time. So I'm always looking at his story like, that guy is inspirational.
Yeah.
Like, he's just full gas, no breaks. If I have a spare minute in my day, I'm going to kill myself, sort of, you know. Like
Bruce Oldham.
Yes, yeah, sorry, Bruce Oldham, yeah. He's... I've found that quite inspiring because he's quite a young dude as well.
He's very young and he does a lot of stuff. And he's kind of like the ski Canadian version of friggin' David Goggins.
Yeah.
He runs ultra marathons.
Yes. an ultraman for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Not because he needs to.
Just
or, you know.
shits and gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's training at first thing in the morning for MMA. And
Yeah.
then he's going skiing training, and then going on a run. And then
Yeah.
coaching people. Yeah, fantastic. Love that. Love that outlook.
Can completely get on board with that. Yeah. I was actually pretty inspired by that guy too, because he's so young.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like,
it's
was he
weird
like
to see.
22 or something?
And he's already spent, at 22, he's already spent a
Yeah.
whole year not drinking. What?
Smart.
Smart.
Why
yeah.
are you so smart?
Yeah, I don't know.
I wish I was that smart.
Imagine the money you'd save.
Yeah. He might be older than 22. I don't know. I can't remember.
I think he was like that when he came on the show. I think he
something
was
like that. Yeah. At some point, maybe that episode will be released. I don't know. But we'll see. If not, I'll get him back on this podcast. But what's one myth about Seasonaire life that you would like to debunk? That's a difficult one as well.
It's a difficult one. A myth about Seasonaire.
Yeah.
It's easy. I think a lot of people would look at the kind of lives that we lead and think, oh, that just looks like play.
Yeah.
It's not.
No, it's not.
There's a lot of planning, a lot of stressful times, like we mentioned earlier. Trying to figure out what you're doing next season, for example. As simple as that, it can be really stressful.
Yeah.
And as much as it is, once again, work hard, play hard, there is a big element of work hard in there.
Yeah.
So I think it shouldn't be underestimated that it's not the easiest lifestyle.
100%. Excellent. So now I have to ask you Mark Glender's favourite question, my mum's favourite question. What's one thing you take with you everywhere you travel, or do you have any travel hacks, or both?
A good travel hack that I learned from Abby is always take an empty water bottle to the airport.
Yeah.
Because then you can fill it up after security. And I was like, that's so simple, but why? I've always been parched on the plane, so
why haven't I done this before?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And something I always take with me when I'm traveling is hair from my cat, and that's not voluntary.
That's a good one. That is a good one. Overall, what's the biggest lesson learned from living and working abroad?
Never underestimate FaceTime with family. Something I'd say. I think I speak to my parents now more than I did when I lived in the UK prior to joining the army.
Really?
Yeah, I love chatting to them. And don't underestimate the people around you. Like some people, the opportunities and the situations they find themselves in come as a product of the people you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
Which is really easy to do as a seasoner. Constantly meeting people from different backgrounds, and I think it's sick to see what they're doing next, because then you can take inspiration from that as well.
Is there anything that seasonal life has brought to your current life?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything, full stop.
Yeah.
Literally, like everything that I have now, except my family back home, has come from deciding to move to Austria and deciding to do that first season, let's say.
Yeah.
So it's mad, actually.
Yeah.
It's mad.
If you hadn't have gone and done your first season, what do you think you'd be doing right now?
Boy, that is a good question. That is a good question. So I would have left the army. Would I be tattooing people?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe I'd be doing like some really nasty cover-up tattoos on people's asses,
Yeah.
I genuinely think I probably would have gravitated towards moving abroad anyway.
Yeah.
Just because of the kind of person, I don't know that, but that's the kind of person I am.
Well, yeah, you were kind of doing that with the army anyway.
Exactly,
so perhaps,
exactly. Yeah. So something random, I imagine, knowing me.
Yeah. Is there anyone you would like to nominate to come on the show and have a chat with me?
Absolutely. I think Abby.
Yep.
I think Abby should come and have a chat with you. And you can put her on the spot because she sucks at public speaking. No, she doesn't really. That's a lie. I honestly, I'll give him another one. I think Tom.
Yeah. Tom
Quantrill needs a nomination because, I other than the fact that he sounds really funny, I think he's had quite an interesting life.
Yeah.
Like he mentions little things every now and again. You're like, what?
Yeah.
So I think you could really get him under the microscope, find out all of his dirty secrets. And I think I mentioned it online as well. I'd love if you can get Vernie Stock on. I'd love to find out about that guy's life. Shout out to Vernie Stock.
Yeah, shout out Vernie Stock. He's a local though, he's not a seasonaire.
I know.
I have been thinking about doing some local specials, so that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would be.
So yeah, what's next for you, Dan? Because things have been going very well. And I've noticed you've been blowing up on Instagram since the video of you and your fiance Abby.
Yeah.
Is that when it happened? So you've had your Instagram for a while.
Yeah.
And you've obviously chosen to kind of concentrate on it a bit recently. Is that right?
Yeah, yes and no. So
Yeah.
I'm a bit ADHD. So like if I think of a concept, I'm like, ooh, concept. And so the prime example is that taxi video that Abby and I did. I mean, it's on like 15 million views now or something.
What?
It's monstrous. It did blow up like exponentially.
So basically, just to give the listeners a idea of what this video is you as a snowboarder getting on the... Oh, did you even have your snowboard in it?
No.
Okay.
I went up the mountain to go get the keys off Abby.
Yeah.
And at the mid station in Seoul, and she was like, "Do you want to lift?" And I was like, "Sure, like I'll have a lift." I was in my trainers, you know. So then we went down a little bit and then stopped for a second. I was like, "Oh, video opportunity." So I was like, "Abby, wait there." Put my thumb out. I was like, "Taxi!" and then obviously everything else was natural, you know. Everything just happened.
So you jump on the back of her skis and she gives you a lift as a ski taxi, basically.
Yeah, down the blue home run, which was the perfect piece for it.
Yeah.
And I think the two biggest comments that we got on that video were "marry her," which I think is going to be an amazing video later on when I can respond to those comments with a picture of us getting married. Yeah. And also, a lot of people said, "Close your eyes and listen to the video." And I've done it, and I don't get it. Like, I don't get it if it's a sexual thing or if it's like a scary thing. I don't know.
I'm going to have to do that now. Yeah. I commented on there that you were a backseat driver and it got like over 300 likes. I was like, what the fuck?
I know. It's mad, isn't it, though?
It's mental.
Mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that video was, I wouldn't say that was the initial stem of me sort of putting a bit more into my Instagram. Like I did a couple of videos early winter of like some call it clever transitioning on it.
Yeah.
And that was when it sort of gained a little bit of traction, like, 40,000 views on this video, blah, blah, blah. But then that one, that was the main.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
Yeah. So how many because your followers went mental? Like,
yes. Yeah. I went from.
How many? Yeah.
On what was it? It was Boxing Day. I had. Boxing Day, I remember putting a story up saying, let's see if we can get to 3,000 followers before New Year's Eve. I'm now on 16,500.
Wow.
So
congratulations, that's awesome.
Cheers. Well, I mean, it's led to a few things, like now I can say it, I'm officially a content creator.
Yeah.
Which is cool because I love doing it. So it's like a hobby / it's a money making hobby now.
Yeah, nice.
Which I think is cool.
Yeah.
So hopefully that leads somewhere in the future as well. But I mean, like the main thing, going back to your original question, what's next for me is I just want to see these coaching clinics and this concept that we're developing. I want to see that grow.
Yeah.
I want to nurture it and see it grow. And then the next thing for me, if I don't mention this, I'll get my throat slit. I have to mention that I'm getting married later this year.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
Cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
When did you ask her? It wasn't that long ago.
Almost bang on a year ago. It was 2nd of March last year.
No way.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, 2nd of March last year. And obviously she said yes. And and I tell you one thing though, here's a bit of advice for people. Think about the planning of a wedding before asking the question. Because it's the most stressful thing in the world, I swear to God.
And where are you getting married?
We're actually getting married in Westendorf, which is about 20 minutes down the road from where we live in Seoul.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful spot. And from where we're going to be doing the I-do's, you can look up to the Hohesalvauer mountain and you can see the exact spot where I proposed.
Oh,
so King romance.
That's so cool. Yeah. Very nice. I feel very single right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine. Whatever, you happy bastards. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So you also now have a sponsorship, is it? Or like a contract with a goggle company?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I was very lucky to... I actually got a really random message early on in the season from a thermal company, a company making thermals on Amazon, like a standard Amazon brand.
Yeah.
They were having issues because they needed some images of some lifestyle stuff. And they spoke to their graphic designer who came back with like the worst AI generated thing ever. So she just jumped on Facebook and looked for the first person she could find, who was luckily me.
Yeah, cool.
She was like, can you do something for us? So we took a bunch of pictures for her, sent them. She was dead happy. But I was like, I'm not quite happy for the 50 quid that she gave me to do it. I'm not quite happy that I've supplied you with enough here. So I went up onto the Kitzsteinhorn in just the thermals and did a few runs in the snow. And it was like me doing a run. And then at the end I was like, still warm. And then she loved it so much. She went and told all of her friends, all of her marketing friends about it. And then I ended up getting a bunch of these people messaging me about stuff.
Yeah.
One of which was Outdoor Master, the brand who's now sponsored me. And initially it was like, we'll send you some stuff. Can you do some stuff for us?
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, we'll pay you to do this. And then now I've landed on yesterday morning, I got the news that I've got a year contract with them to create content for them.
That's amazing.
Just luck. It's all just luck.
Yeah.
Luck and lying. I swear.
I don't know. I don't think it's luck. I think it's hard work and actual focus. And yeah.
I mean, there's definitely an aspect of that. A lot of it does feel like luck, though. It feels like opportune moments and the right thing happening at that moment.
Yeah, I can totally actually understand that, because I feel like that all the time with the things that I'm doing. But it's like you had to put yourself in those positions to be able to get there.
Definitely.
But yeah, you do feel very lucky.
Yeah.
You know, kind of living in a fucking ski resort.
That's it. You know, that's the biggest thing when you step out your door and you're like, what?
Yeah, like I literally look out my window and can see like the Ahorn or the Penkin. It's like, what? I used to work in a 9-to-5 office job in Yeovil. What? Anyway, it's not about me.
It is, Gina. It's about you. That's Seasonaire, Gina, right here, ladies and gentlemen.
So you got the year contract. That's awesome.
Yeah,
nice.
Very, very happy with it. Very happy with that outcome.
Yeah,
and it feels like that's something I wanted to say.
Mm-hmm.
I think with the Seasonaire lifestyle, you end up finding stepping stones.
Yeah.
Little stepping stones, whether it's from resort to resort or job to job or sometimes friendship to friendship.
Yeah.
It builds and that's where I found myself very lucky. It's like my stepping stones have just fallen into very good places.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. And you got to take the opportunities.
Definitely.
Yeah. Excellent. So Dan, where can people find you?
I would say my main point there, if you want to find me, is Danny Gway on Instagram. That's DANNYGWAY.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give us a shout.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, good luck with the coaching and working with Dope, and good luck with the sponsorship as well. And congratulations, it all seems to be going very, very well.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. And good luck with the wedding.
I know.
Oh my God.
Suits are picked. Yeah. Dresses are picked. We're good to go.
Sick. So what's one parting piece of advice for anyone thinking about becoming a Seasonaire or starting a new adventure?
Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Count to one and just do it.
Yeah.
You know, life's too short to be questioning yourself. If you're in the frame of mind where you're thinking about the adventure or the Seasonaire lifestyle, you're clearly on board with doing it. So just do it.
Yeah.
Take that first step.
100%. Dan, thank you so much for coming on the show. It has been an absolute pleasure. It has been lovely to catch up and get all of your story. And good luck with everything in the future.
Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
What a wonderful episode to finish up the season. Thank you so much again to the wonderful Dan Greenway for coming on the show today. So here we are again at the end of the podcast season, and it's been a blast. A massive shout out to all my amazing, talented and inspiring guests that have been a part of the show, and a huge thank you to you guys, my listeners. This season you managed to push the show over 10,000 downloads, and I cannot thank you enough. Please keep spreading the word. Don't forget to head over to Instagram and give us a follow for all the latest updates from Resort. Hopefully we'll be able to bring you some more episodes during the summer. A huge shout out to show supporters Dope Snow, Palm and Pine Skincare, and of course Maya Hoffman Online, and hopefully see you soon. As always, thanks to Mike at Mike's Sports Bar for the studio space. Thanks to sponsors Dope Snow. Thanks to Mondo Wave for the music. And thanks to you guys for tuning in. See you all again next time. Yeah, we don't want to get sued.
No, we're not going to get sued. Just know that this Frenchman is a knob. But I don't know. I'll stick with I don't know to that question.
Good idea.
Other than that, stay ginger.